All right, so if you've seen my initial Kaku Zulu setup video, you know that the audio sucks. It was a real bad windy day and I added music to it, which was a mistake, and I get beat up every so often about how terrible the audio is. So I'm finally going to redo this walkthrough of the Kaku Zulu since I got a good day. But I've had this Kaku, man, going on 2 years now, I think. I bought it brand new, 2022. I'd have to go back and look at the exact date, but I've had it for over a year easy. I was using it with the Wilderness Crate system. Well, before that. So before I had the native sidekick wheels made by Boondocks on the back tracks. And in the very first video, I ended up ripping the tracks out. In fact, you can see some of the scarring right here because I ended up pounding these back into shape. I had to pull all the tracks out and put them in a vise and straighten them out. But I ended up blowing all the tracks out of the hole from the weight of this. So the Boondocks or the native landing gear wasn't going to work. So then I went to the Wilderness Systems cart underneath it, and I used that for a year. Going down a boat ramp was easy because I just let gravity do its thing, and I just kind of controlled it. Pulling this thing up a boat ramp was nearly impossible because it's heavy. So then I was just hooking it up with a rope while it was on the Wilderness carts to my T-bone, and I was actually dragging it up on the Wilderness cart up the ramp, which worked okay, but in my mind I always wanted a boat trailer. And then I come across this boat trailer, ended up getting it on a trade. I traded a 22 pistol for it, straight across. And then I went ahead and painted it and put some new rims and tires on it, and yesterday was my first put in with the trailer, and it works. It's just a little short and a little small for my truck. I can't see it when I'm backing up, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put some poles on it or something where I can see it when the kayak's not on it, because when it's empty, the kayak's in the water and I'm backing down a ramp, I just can't see the trailer at all, and it's too skinny to see it through the side mirrors. But anyways, I digress. Kaku Zulu. When I first bought it, the advertisement was 90 pounds. And what Kevin, the designer and owner of Kaku, meant with the 90 pounds was it's 90 pounds of pellet powder weight. 90 pounds of the pellet powder that makes the polymer that they rotomold. It's that's 90 pounds. This kayak is not 90 pounds. I put it on a scale. The kayak and the seat is almost 120 pounds. I think it was 116 in my original unboxing video. I was looking at this in the PA-14. I bought this because it was listed significantly lighter than the PA, but it's not. It's only a couple pounds lighter than the PA. So that was kind of a big disappointment for me. But once I got it out on the water, it paddles like a jet boat. I mean, it's fast and it tracks really well. It was built to paddle. And then I put the motor on it, the Xi3 motor. It's not as fast as I want it to be. I cannot break 4 miles an hour with it. 3.8, 3.9-ish is about the fastest as I've been able to go with it, with that Xi3. I have the Hobie Outback. I can hit 5 miles an hour with the Outback, but that's no surprise. The Hobie drives. I've been in every pedal kayak they make, minus the Titan X brand new 2024 model. That's the only one I have not been in, and I'm pretty impressed with that so far. But anyways, I've been in every pedal kayak there are. Hobie drives are the most efficient. They will get you the fastest with the least amount of effort. The natives are nice. The Propels, the Old Towns, I'm not knocking them. I'm just letting you know them Hobies are fast, and I can hit 5 miles an hour with my Outback, no problem. So I was kind of disappointed when I couldn't hit 4 with this. But I am heavy. Again, I got a 100 amp hour battery in the back. 60 in the front. The motor's 47 pounds alone, and then whatever gear I got. So it is heavy, but it handles really well. It is a hybrid. If you don't know about the Kakus, they're paddleboardish kayak hybrid. So the gunnel, I guess is what you call them, is not as thick as a regular kayak. So for instance, yesterday I was in 20-mile-an-hour winds, white cap waves. The wave would come up into here and put water on the deck. Now luckily the Kakus shed water very easily, so it would just go right back out. It wasn't a big problem, but the waves were coming up over the hull yesterday on the lake. But I wanted to get out just to test this trailer, putting in and pulling out of the trailer, so I was able to do that. It's very stable. The seat, you can stand on top of the seat. We'll talk about that. I'm getting sidetracked again. We'll just start from the front. All right. So I got it rigged up with a tow rope up here, and I use this when I pull it off the trailer. I can guide it over to the dock or just to the shoreline and pull it up on shore while I move the trailer. It's got a front hatch. It did not come with this seal, and I did notice in the rain I would get water in my hull, so I went ahead and put this weather stripping around it, and it did solve, I would say, 80% of the solution. One thing that I did notice is when the waves do come up over the bow, if they go in this channel, if it's too much water and it doesn't recede or escape through these channels, that it will sometimes get up inside here. If it goes over this lip here, it will get inside the hull, but not a big issue so far. But I have an amped outdoors 60 amp. I got it hooked up with a SAE port, and then I run my GoPro on the front off of that, and I run my Yak Power wireless switch that runs all my nav lights and my sonar off of this front battery, just that battery. And I'm running the Motor Guide Xi3, and then I have the transducer mounted on top of the motor head, or actually on bottom of the motor head, I should say. So there's the transducer. And the reason I did that was originally when I had this in the back of my truck, I wouldn't leave the motor on, so I would pull the motor and the transducer off and put that in the cab of my truck. And it was always there. And I didn't have to worry about a second pole. And I don't have interference from the motor. I get good pictures on the Elite that way, and I just decided to keep it there. Keep it that way. The access plate, I've seen some that have a clear access plate. I don't know if that's something new that Kevin's done, but it's just what do you call it, HD PE or whatever, the marine board, starboard plate on it. I mounted some Amazon strip lights, the red and green nav lights, on the motor itself, and then that is wired here to the Yak Attack switch, so I can turn it on and off. The power cord is wrapped up under here, and it's actually, so it's a motor guide with a Minn Kota wire. This is the best plug, in my opinion, in the industry. I had a Atwood, and I had another brand, and I would burn the terminals up. In fact, one day I was out down a river, and I was actually going quite a few miles, and I could smell it, the plastic starting to heat up and melt. And I ended up changing this plug out, and I haven't had any issues since. It's heavy duty. It's the Minn Kota plug. It goes into the hull, and then it runs all the way back to my battery. Stealth rod holders. These things are pretty much rock solid. There's no flimsy. I don't know. I like Yak Attack products, but man, they're rod holders. I got the Omegas on an Old Town, and they're just really flimsy, where these seem to be more solid. So I like them. Well, in fact, here's one right here. So see how much play it has in it? It's just kind of flimsy, where them are more solid. But I got one of them on each side. The Kaku seat. Some people complain they don't like the seat. I've spent 8 hours in it. It's not bad. I mean, I'm military. Believe me, I've sat in worse, longer conditions. So this is pretty nice. It's strong. You can stand on it. I got some lights that I plan to bow fish off of this thing at night, and I'll stand up here and shoot the bow off of. I haven't done that yet, but I do plan on doing that. I installed the rudder, the Tomahawk rudder they call it, and this is pretty nice. So if I got it locked in, spot lock on a position, and the wind is driving me nuts, I can kind of use the rudder to control my drift or my spin on it, which is pretty nice. I got the seat pouches from Kaku, holds various gear, which is nice. This is the DeWalt single drawer. I just put red tape over the yellow DeWalt, or not red tape, but orange tape over the yellow DeWalt. But I just throw some whatever gear I need in my first aid kit. But it goes up underneath there. I got 2 more stealth rod holders in the back if I'm catfishing using extra poles. And then I just bought these from Walmart or the dollar store and mounted them under, cut a notch for the seat, and they seem to fit, and I can put whatever I need to into there, however I need to do it. The old Yak Attack Black Pack. This is the new one. I'm still not completely sold on it. I mean, it does its job, I guess. I've been through, custom milk crates, the Wilderness crate. I've used quite a bit of them. I don't think there's a perfect version yet of anything yet. But this is okay. I like it because it's highly modifiable, and you could add to it, and that's what I did on this crate. So I added bungee cords to the top. You can put anything on the top if you want. I went ahead and added 2 extra pole holders to the back, so I've got 8 total. And then for the crate itself, I went ahead and made a bungee wall to hold some 3600 boxes, and then I keep my regular gear here, and then if I need extra clothing or whatever, and then up on top I just made some eye bolts to hold some bungee cord in, some tools or whatever. And of course there's plenty of room. You could add all kinds of things on here. And then I had this made by Bradgett Designs on Etsy. Nice pocket. Put some bait or whatever you have in there. All right. And then the big battery box. So this is a 100 amp hour lithium LiPo. And then I have I put a gauge on there, circuit breaker. I got a 30 amp circuit breaker, and I have a 50 amp circuit breaker. I have 2 separate, actually I have 3 separate systems. I have a 50 amp system, a 30 amp system, and a 10 amp system right here. So my 10 amp is running USB ports with a gauge if I ever need to charge a cell phone or whatever it may be. And then my 30 amp is running off of a SAE if I need to power something off of that. And then of course I have this for the main motor. And then this goes down into the hull all the way through to the Minn Kota back up front. I've ran this 4th of July 4 days running. 6 hours I think was the shortest day, so 4 days for 6 hours. 2 days of them I know were well over 8 hours, and I had never had no issues with the battery. I never charged it the whole 4 day weekend we were camping. The Kaku, this is the Kaku carbon fiber paddle, 250 centimeters. Highly recommended. If you are to buy the Kaku, just go ahead and get the paddle. They've got a good deal on the paddle. I paid more for carbon fiber paddles than this one. But sitting in that higher seat, you do need a longer paddle if you're going to paddle this. And this paddle seems to do good. So it's got mounting plates for power poles or motors already on it. It has these bolts threaded into inserts into the hole. You can take these plates off if you need to. I went ahead and added a yak attack for my power pole that I made, and then my fisheye camera goes on top of here. The rear hatch is too small to support the 100 amp hour battery. I could not fit it in the hatch, so there's really nothing in the hatch. I just got it sitting on top of the hatch. I got this off of eBay. This was a Father's Day gift for my daughters. I think they call it a Robo Cup or something like that. But it clamps on, and it'll hold two drinks. My Arctic cup was real thick and it really wouldn't fit in here, so I ended up cutting these two little channels, and it expands a little bit for the cup, so it holds it in there better. Side pockets again on the side. The Yak Attack, what do you call them, track packs. I bought these just to test them out. I'm not sure if I like it here. You can see a little flimsy. I'm not sure. I'm still using them. Honestly, I don't really use them. I'm testing them, I guess you could say. We'll see. But, I got some plastics in there. The bottom one, I think I put my swim baits. Yeah, my large swim baits. Yeah. So I got swim baits in here in foam. Rudder control. So the rudder is in the up position. I got it right here. If I pull it off of this Yak Attack cleat and I let it down, it falls down. It's on that bag right now, but it'll fall down. And then when I need it in the up position, I just put it back on that cleat and I'm good to go. Of course, we're back at the motor guide again. And then the Yak power switch. This is the wireless switch. I just had to change the batteries out on this yesterday when I took it out, but I got it screwed into a starboard mount that I made for the Lowrance, and I just keep it there so I don't lose it. Lots of track space on the Kaku. I like it. It's a cool boat. It's original. I think there's only 4 of them in Missouri. There was only 3 of them. I was the 3rd one when I bought it. I haven't heard of any more coming. I don't know. But it is a pretty cool boat. I was just hoping it would go a little bit faster with that motor guide. I don't know if I put it in the front, if it would pull it faster. I'm not sure. Of course, if you get a Torpedo or the NK 180, put it on the back, I'm sure this thing would scoot. It's stable though, and I enjoy it. It's a nice kayak. It's definitely different looking than the others. I do get a lot of more conversations over it, versus just a Hobie Outback. I do love my Outback. I think that's probably the best kayak I've got. 105 pounds kayak seat and drive. Very easy to tow up and down a ramp with the Boondocks landing gear on it. It's probably my number 1 vessel that I use. But of course, on the days that you want spot lock, this shines towards that. But yeah, hopefully this video is a little bit better and less wind noise, and you get to see a little bit better views of the Kaku Zulu. Be safe and have fun out in the water, and until the next adventure, I'll see you.